Hello everyone, it's seekingjess and I hope you're doing amazing. As some of you might have already heard, Health Canada has released the new food recommendations. And you know what? Good news. There's a huge emphasis on plant-based foods, which in my opinion is a huge step into the right direction. And not only my opinion, I've read a lot of comments of vegan influencers out there and everyone thinks it's a great thing what Canada is doing. I would just like to go through everything that they have published. So when it comes to food choices, they have said that everyone should be eating a variety of healthy foods a day. So the first one is to eat plenty of vegetables and fruits, whole grain foods and protein foods. And they say to choose protein foods that come from plants more often, which I think is huge. So finally the meat section is being removed from the plate and they made one shared section for all different kinds of proteins, including plants. So I think now finally people will start realizing and understand that plant foods also have enough protein for us to survive. And also future generations will stop associating protein with meat. And I mean, there is plenty of evidence out there that we really don't need to consume meat in order to get enough protein. But unfortunately, some people still do believe that. And I have a lot of heated discussions at times with people where they don't believe that, actual plant foods have enough protein for us. So the second point is to choose foods with healthy fats instead of saturated fats. So healthy fats are, for example, avocados, nuts, and seeds. And with saturated fats, they mean meat and cheese, as those products have the highest amount of saturated fats. Limit highly processed foods. So if we choose to eat them, we should be very cautious. Eat them less often and in small amounts. So processed foods are, of course, high in sugar and sodium, which both is very bad for our health. The fourth point is to prepare meals and snacks using ingredients that have little to no sugar, sodium, or saturated fat. So I mean, most of the so-called healthy snacks that we can find on the market today are unfortunately not as healthy as we think. They're advertised as healthy, but sometimes when you turn them around, we can actually see what's inside. And most of the ingredients, in many cases, are not that good for us. So by choosing to actually preparing our own snacks and we know what's in there, we can be cautious and we know that what we eat is healthy. Also preparing your own meals instead of buying processed and buying already prepared meals will make sure that you know exactly what's in your food. And one point of that is as well what I've mentioned before is that marketing does a lot when it comes to especially healthy snacks. They tell you that, this granola bar is very healthy for you and is low in fat, but also it can be low in fat but very high in sugar. So marketing and advertisements are very great and advertising of course their products in the healthiest and best way possible. So this is also a point that they have mentioned we need to be cautious about. The fifth point is to choose healthier menu options when we go and eat out. So a lot of times here as well is that when we go and eat out, most of the foods have a lot of added oil and salt. Of course, as I mentioned before, those things are not necessarily great for our health. Of course, eating them once in a while will not harm us that much, but we should be cautious about it. And I realize I use the word cautious a lot, but I mean, there's a reason for it because I feel like most people are not cautious enough when it comes to their food choices because they just put everything into their body without actually knowing how it can harm them. So the sixth point is to make water your drink of choice. And that's amazing. So instead of drinking all of the sodas and the sugary drinks, water should be the staple every day. And a lot of people are sometimes unaware of how much sugar there really can be in a can of Coke, for example. There's so much added sugar, and not only sugar, but all of the other additives are very harmful for your body, and we don't realize it because so many of us are so used to drinking those kind of drinks that it's sometimes hard to give up because sugar of course is addictive, and so for some people it might be very hard to give it up. And the seventh point is that they have removed dairy as a required food, and that is a huge step. And sometimes I still wonder is when people tell me that dairy is something healthy and we need to consume it, because there's so much information out there right now and so much scientific evidence showing and proving that dairy is very, very bad in every way for our body and we should not be consuming it. So the fact that they have taken it out this time means a lot, and I hope it will help other people to open up their eyes and to, you know, to make sure that what they consume is only for their best. So in summary, I can say that I'm personally very happy with what they've came up with. It's a huge step in the right direction, and of course, if we compare it to other food plates by other countries, there's most of the time a huge difference. And I really hope that more countries are going to start going to this direction. And yeah, that was it for my video. I hope it helped you. I'm very excited again about this huge step in the right direction. And let me know if you liked the video. If you did so, please give me a thumbs up. And if you are happy with what Canada is doing, you should also give me a thumbs up. And I hope to see you in my next video. Bye bye.